This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 350 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is sponsored by Kentucky Performance Products. Visit them at kppusa.com. Hi, everybody. Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. Today we have back with us somebody that hasn't been on in a while, and that's Debbie McDonald. She is a part-time co-host of the Dressage Radio Show and an international dressage competitor, superstar, and pretty much now a legend in U.S. dressage. She's a trainer and teacher with Olympic and World Equestrian Games medals. She's well-respected throughout the world for her talents, and of course, she's a sought-after clinician all over the world as well. She was on episode 80 of the Dressage Radio Show, the most recent episode. And we're going to take this tip right off of episode 80. If you want to hear the rest of that episode of the Dressage Radio Show, go to dressageradio.com. And we're going to be right back with Debbie's great tip about winterizing and about the winter weather, which she's in a pile of snow right now, so I think she knows a little bit about that. So we're going to be right back with Debbie after these words from our terrific sponsor, Kentucky Performance Products. We ask that you support our sponsors so that we can keep the Horse Radio Network going. And here is Debbie McDonald right after Kentucky Performance Products. Joint Armor from KPP provides your horse with the building blocks necessary to maintain healthy joints throughout his lifetime. Kentucky Performance Products Quality Assurance provides you with the confidence that you are purchasing a safe, high-quality product. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Joint Armor is concentrated and affordable. One jar lasts a whole 75 days. Joint Armor helps maintain fluid motion and flexibility in your horse's joints. It also supports normal cartilage development and reduces joint deterioration. Learn more about Joint Armor from Kentucky Performance Products and all their other terrific products at kppusa.com. That's kppusa.com.
Well, I mean, I know for us, we watch, the temperatures pretty closely because we've noticed that when the barometer starts fluctuating dramatically, that's when a lot more colics happen. And so we try to stay ahead of it with extra electrolytes, really like making almost soup with their for their grains and soaking the hay. Any way we can to keep a lot more fluids in their body because they don't like to drink a lot of water when it gets really cold. And even though the barn is heated, it's just, I don't know what it is, but there's something about, even when you're inside, you know what the weather's doing outside, and they just don't like to drink as much water. So we try really hard to stay ahead of that.
Yeah, do you feed tepid? Do you give them tepid water, Deb, or do you have automatic watering?
We do have both. We have an automatic water that is heated. It's not hot, but the water comes out a little warm. And then we also do have buckets because there are some horses that prefer the bucket over the water. And so we actually do keep both so the horses have their choice. We'll do it any way they want it. Just drink it.
Yeah, really. Just drink it. Now, do you find that they might be more inclined to drink water that's just tepid, just not absolutely stone cold, than they would go for very cold water?
There are some that do prefer that temperature, but then there are some that absolutely prefer the fresh water out of the hose that's a little on the cold side. It's very interesting how each horse is very individual about that.
Now, you're able to catch these when they start to show the early symptoms of colic. Then, once it gets cold and they're not moving about so much, they're not drinking as much.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, most of our horses we send south for the retired horses go south where it's a little bit warmer, but it is very true. They just don't consume the amount of water that they do normally. And so when we realize that we've got to really, like you can predict, the weather forecast says we're going to get 21 below or whatever, 2 or 3 days before we really start to saturate their food with just in a lot of water. Just their haze gets quite soaked, and their grain, like I said, almost soup, so they almost have to slope it. And then some bran mashes and just, making sure that they have all different types of water at their, leisure.
Well, thank you to Debbie McDonald and to Chris Stafford for bringing us those tips on the Dressage Radio Show. As I said, that was off of episode 80. You can visit dressageradio.com. What a cool job we have. We get to speak with the most well-known, the coolest horse people in the world every day. It's just the neatest job. And I'm very proud of all the hosts we have here on the Horse Radio Network. Don't forget, we get to talk to some of those neat people every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, on Horses in the Morning with Jamie Jennings and I and my wife, Jennifer. We're having a lot of fun over on that show. It's being well received, and we would love to have you join us live or listen to the recorded version every day. Just go to horsesinthemorning.com. We'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.
The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.